I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stretch, seal my greed. That's how I get it, success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect, let them watch me elevating. Got them nauseous, cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the house and woo. Watch how I get ahead, watch how I get ahead, watch how I get ahead. Woo. Watch how I set it up, bet you I shut it down, watch how I get a win. I don't think they really wanna come against the winner, got a finger run up in on a grenade. I ain't never been there when you think you compare. I'm aligned with the winner about the cage. I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out.
Hey, yo, Jay.
I ain't trying to see your hand out.
Hey. Okay.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in the big leagues. Told him that I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now, so I need that go, y'all. Got hits when he throwin' the fastball. Just too quick for it, peeling off like the whip orange. Seen they effort, this piss poor. I got too much, I gotta tend to. Car payments and the rent due. Told y'all that I'm 6 foot, but with the money stabbing, I'm 10-2. Too much that I've been through, so I put it all in that rear view. Clean money in a black whip, got old problems with the friends new. Yeah, I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. Yeah, I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, told him I'ma hit it out the stands. I deserve another 100 bands, I deserve another 100 fans. Told them this was always in the plans. I just did it cause they said I can. Blowing euros when I'm down in France. Labels asking how I build a brand. Told them put a check up in my hands. Boy got time, no cap. Made a few checks but they all in the raps. Had a few friends but they suck in the past. I don't even trip when I'm thinking about that. Hopped in the whip and we all in black. Shawty wanna ride till I hop in the back. 0 to 100 seen a rap on the dash. They ain't catching up, dog, I'm moving too fast. I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in a big league.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, man, we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. to the floor. Yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream. I can see my mic clipping. I'm lowering the volume right now. But what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in to tonight's live stream to do some TA on this crazy thing they call Bitcoin, as we are kind of in the same spot we were yesterday. So we're going to break down the charts, guys. Are we about to get a bigger move to the downside? Are we seeing more signs of weakness here for that bigger move down? Or have we come down to the support that we needed, tapping a specific golden pocket that we've been looking at to put in a potential strong bottom for some more upside to come? We're going to be breaking it down, all of this on the live stream, guys. And hint, hint, I do think that we could probably make a little bit more moves down. And we're going to talk about specifically why I could be potentially expecting this. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted from chat. But guys, without further ado, go ahead and smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure, which has low-key been scamming us lately. But as you guys know, the more likes, the more wins, or the more likes, the more spins, the more free stuff that you can get. Yesterday, we gave away a whole lot of crypto. We gave away a bunch of ADA, and then one person got a pretty decent bag of ADA, a nice $150 bag. Hey, shout out to Holiday. Shout out to Holiday. Thank you for sending that super chat. I appreciate you so much, bro. He says, got the premium Discord. Let's go. Shout out to Holiday stepping up his trading journey, I'll call it. Shout out to you, bro. Welcome to the premium. Well, this isn't the premium, but you know what I mean. Shout out to you, bro. Hopefully you find the value you're looking for in the premium Discord, as a lot of the other kitchen members have found. But guys, we got a lot of stuff to look at on Bitcoin. I don't want to hold you up too much, but one quick announcement, guys. Don't forget, we will be dropping some links in the chat. Crypto Billy will be doing one of his Twitter spaces tonight. Billy Goat Tales, I think is the name of it. But yeah, shout out to Crypto Billy. We will, Tony D will drop the link. Maybe Crypto Billy will drop the link. But guys, go check it out. I am going to be on tonight's episode. So if you want to come hang out with us after hours, it's between 9 and 11. Go check it out. Like I said, the link will be in the chat very shortly. And shout out to Crypto Billy for having me on. I appreciate you, bro. But let's see what we got in the chat today. Excuse me. Sorry, I just chugged a bunch of Aztec and Cactus Moss water, if you couldn't tell. Shout out to Darren Does Things in the chat. What is going on, bro? He's saying, what's up to Dixon? And you guys know who Dixon is. Dixon Apple Juice, not apple cider. But shout out to Dixon. Thank you for being here, bro. We got B-Rad Crypto, French Toaster, Dave P, Crimson Caravan Company. As always, good to see you. We got Mr. Wolf in the chat, said, get that fib and pull it. Shout out to you, bro. Let's see. Shout out to Dixon, says regular chat feels like premium when Uncle Dixon is here. Shout out to Uncle Dixon. We got Crimson's girlfriend in the chat. As always, great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. We got Gen Z in the chat, because I can bump it. We got Michael Vito. What is going on? He says, it is the GOAT. Bah! Shout out to you, bro. And yes, that is a goat sound. Compare it to the real thing. Blah! Kind of off. But anyway, shout out to you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. I said, what part of Mrs. Candles will we see tonight? Shout out to you, bro. Probably a hand if I had to guess. We don't let her show her feet. But anyway, guys, without further ado, thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to all the mods. You guys know who they are. We got Rob the Crypto Snob in the chat. We got Tony D, Crypto Billy, Crypto Anon, D Petty Crypto, Captain Kirk. You guys know who they are. Tyler Durden, Chemistry Bro. Thank you guys for everything you do. Show them some love in the chat. And shout out to Crypto Infinity. Said, Frankie, nuke Bitcoin. Just do it, bro. Let's go. Hey, Crypto Infinity, remember, I don't have the power to dump the market. I told you that in private, just like, right? Remember, I can't move the price of Bitcoin. Remember that. Shout out to Crypto Infinity. I'm just kidding. Of course, we could just call up Satoshi and get a quick little nuke to come in here. But guys, without further ado, last announcement here. Shout out to Vacation Time. Says, don't let this distract you from the fact that Hector is going to be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines. And on top of that, he just went into Harry's and bought 3 T66 turbos with NOS and a Motec exhaust. Shout out to Fast and the Furious. That's a quote from the movie. But shout out to Vacation Time. Like I said, I pinned that because that's important information that people need to know. And I guess Bitcoin's kind of important too. So let's go ahead and check out the charts. Let's get into it and jump right on into the charts. Here we go. So here we are, guys. On the Bitcoin chart. Now, obviously, we have not really seen too much happen here. As kind of, we were ranging around up here. We got the little dump. I am still in my short position from about right here. Holding that position. I'm actually holding all my positions right now. But first off, what I want to do here, guys, is hide that TA and come up to the higher time frames and break down a little bit of what we got going on these higher time frames. Now, obviously, guys, as you know, going into the weekend, or this past weekend, we were looking at a very specific signal to show a little bit of sign of weakness, or show a sign of a little bit of weakness in the market, and that was that 2-day bearish divergence. And as you can see, we have those higher highs on our price with our lower highs on our momentum waves. And that gives us that 2-day bearish divergence, which was one of those key signals that we were looking at to expect a little bit more downside. Now, I will just kind of give you guys my general sentiment off the bat here, because I know a lot of you guys are probably tuned in for that. But here's the thing. I do think, now remember, guys, we are obviously still within our macro volume profile. Let me actually go ahead and unhide, let's go ahead and unhide the TA and pull up our range, right? So we are still within this macro volume profile, which means that we could be beginning our journey, or we could be like on the tail end of our journey up to 48 to 50K. Now, at this moment, meaning as the current charts look, it does look to me like we could potentially still make it up here, right? So I am still bullish on Bitcoin on the higher time frames. This does have a lot to do with our fresh money flow crossovers. But remember, that the money flow on the higher time frames is indicating that we could continue in a bullish trend to hit these next targets, right? Between 48 to 50K, and then your 786 is sitting up here at 57.5. I can't even believe that I'm mentioning the number $57,000 right now. It feels like just a couple of days ago that we were sitting in the low teens, or the mid-teens, I should say, about 15 grand, right? So I can't even believe that I'm talking about, a $57,000 target that we're less than 38% away from. But I do think that we are likely to continue up to this level to hit that 48 to 50K golden pocket and value area high of our macro range, right? Because remember, still just a general volume profile. Just because this is on a higher time frame does not mean that this is not going to play out like a typical volume profile, right? We look for it to flip to value area low to support, look to get to that POC, flip that POC to support, and then begin our journey up to that value area high, which is obviously just so happens to be a in perfect confluence with the macro golden pocket, right? And for anybody who might be new to the show right now, I don't know if we have any new people in here, but this is basically what we saw happen in 2019, where we had this fake out bull market, or a kind of fake out bear market rally right into your macro golden pocket when pulled from the all-time high all the way to the low of the bear market, right? So we are, now this is something that we've been looking at since like all the way back before we were out of, before the bottom was even in, right? We've been looking at this level all the way since this dump here in June, right? Looking at like, hey, maybe we see something happen whenever the bottom comes in. We may run up into that macro golden pocket. And I'm not going to lie, guys. I kind of thought we were going to be wrong about that. As we were getting harsh rejections at this value area low, I was like, maybe we just come down from here and we don't go hit that macro golden pocket. But once again, the TA just winds up pushing through and playing out. And here we are very, very close to that macro golden pocket. So, and it is in perfect confluence with that value area high, which is another reason trend, why we'd expect that level to come in. It's not very often that price just front runs that value area low and then or value area high and then just dumps, right? Doesn't guarantee that we visit the level, but in my opinion, I do think it's more likely to get up here, especially since we have these fresh money flow crossovers on a lot of these higher time frames, like the weekly, like the 6-day, etc., indicating that the trend will likely continue up. But obviously, as we've been talking about for weeks now, we do have these VWAPs continuing to roll back over to the downside, looking for those red dots to print on these, on Market Cypher B, on these higher time frames, which would indicate a potential pullback incoming. And obviously, we are starting to see that with the 2-day bearish divergence as well as the 3-day bearish divergence. So really on the higher time frames, expecting somewhat of a pullback. I do think we can come lower before we get that next push up if it's going to happen. So now the next question is, oh, Frankie, cool, we're going to go down lower, but where are we going to go? And we're going to talk about the specific levels of support that I'm watching in just a second. So in the macro, trend, in my opinion, is likely to continue up, but we could see a little bit more of a cool off here to come in. So let's go ahead and dig into the more local price action, right? So let's not forget you have that macro range, but we also have our more local range here as we rejected that value area high, and we could potentially be starting our journey down to that point of control coming in at about $39,000. So with that being said, I want to talk about the key levels to the downside that I am looking at. Now, to do that, well, actually, let's talk about this first. Let me go ahead and pull up the trades real quick here. Just to update you guys, I am still holding my swing long position, still up 1,600%. Profits locked in, right? Same deal. And still pretty good in profit unrealized, up about $900. This is the most recent short that we took a couple days ago off the value area high rejection that I was just talking about from right here. All of these were setups in the premium Discord, but pull it back up here. I am still sitting in my XRP short. This thing is not really moved much, right? Like this thing has basically just been sitting in the same profit for quite some time. So if we wind up coming down a little bit more, we get paid out. If we get stopped out, we make almost $1,000. No big deal. But I am holding all my trades. Also on my other accounts, I am still holding two other scalp longs on one of my personal accounts, or two of my other personal accounts. But shout out to Tony D. Thank you for that super chat, bro. He says, smash that like. Maybe if we hit 500 tonight, I'll leak one of the upcoming limited hats. Shout out to Tony D, trying to leak all our secret information. Tony, can I talk to you in the hallway real quick? But I'm just kidding. But anyway, just a quick check-in on these trades. Kind of in a pretty good situation, right? Hedged on the shorts, hedged with shorts and longs, right? If we rip, I'm going to get stopped out in profit on all of my shorts, and then if we wind up dumping, these will continue to pay me out. And to be quite honest, guys, for me to get stopped out, I don't even have a stop loss set on this because my entry is pretty low at 26,800. So, we'd have to get a pretty aggressive dump for this trade to start going red. But even if we did, I already have a lot of the profits locked in, right? With that being said, I want to go over and hop on over to the liquidation chart because you guys might be saying, like, why are you expecting more downside, right? And it kind of starts here on the 4-hour time frame on Market Cypher B. And you can see here we have a fresh red dot confirmed with money flow continuing to the downside, right? So if this winds up crossing over into the red, this is indicating that the downtrend is likely to continue within the context of the 4-hour time frame. Like we were just talking about on the higher time frames, the money flow is pretty newly crossed over into the green, expecting the macro trend to continue up. But if this 4-hour money flow decides to cross over into the red, this would give our more local trend on the 4-hour, make it more likely for this continuation to the downside, right? Potentially targeting down here at the POC at $38,998. And again, there are some other levels that I'm looking at that I definitely want to show you guys because they are going to be very, very, very strong and important levels to be looking at, right? But another reason why I do think we could continue down here, guys, and I believe, I know we talked about this in the premium Discord, or in the premium live stream. Let me just go ahead and refresh this page. I know we talked about this in the premium live stream. I think we might have touched on it last night, and it basically has to do with the idea that we obviously know as we look at these liquidation charts almost every single day, you guys know that we do have a significant amount of liquidity below us, and this is kind of what we were showing, right? Look at all of these liquidations that are sitting here on the long side from all of the people who have been longing on the way up, right? Like almost every time we get a pullback, you have new people people longing the dips, which basically gives us all these liquidation levels sitting all down here below the pump, right? As we were pumping up, people were longing. Their stop losses and liquidations are left behind. And basically, what does this mean, right? This essentially means that if we wind up continuing down any more here and we start hitting these liquidation levels, it is likely to cause a cascade of liquidations, flushing all the leverage out of the market, which would essentially likely result in a pretty quick move to the downside or a very fast dump. Now, this doesn't guarantee, just because you guys can see, right? We have liquidity above us as well, right? So it doesn't get, just because we have more liquidity down here, it doesn't guarantee that we're going to come down first. And I'm going to talk about kind of exactly what I'm expecting here. But in the general grand scheme of things, I am expecting a little bit more downside to come in here. It has a lot to do with all the leverage sitting here, as well as the just typical confirmations that we look for, right? We have the 4-hour money flow looking to cross over into the red, etc., right? And now we do have another fresh green dot printing, and I guess with that, I'll talk about kind of what I'm expecting to happen here, right? So obviously, guys, we had this little range from up here, right? Using the volume profiles, we had this little range. This was basically how we were able to catch our short, my short position. Let me see if I have this up. I believe I do. So this is the short position that we are in currently in the premium Discord, or at least most of the people should be in it. But we have this range up here, right? And then we obviously lost the range, and we got a quick move down. And if you guys remember back to a couple of streams ago, we pulled up that VPVR. Actually, this was during my Sunday Sauce live stream on Sunday, obviously. But we talked about kind of what I would expect, right? Once we lost this range, we were expecting a quick move down to this high volume node. And then once we got to this point, this is really the level that you want to hold, because look below us, right? We don't really have too much volume, right? Sure, you have a high volume node here, high volume node here, high volume node here. But for the most part, guys, the real high volume nodes are here. And basically, I mean, your next real significant high volume node is down here, right? All of this is essentially a pretty big gap in volume, right? So as of right now, if we decisively start losing, where we're at right now, we could see a pretty quick move down to the POC of the range, sitting at about $39,000. Now, there are actually a couple of other levels that I have my eye on, and let me go ahead and pull those up right now. So to look at those, we're going to actually pull up Trading Light to find those naked points of control, and you can actually see them sitting right here, right? So, again, if we wind up losing these lows, we could see a bigger move down to that $39,000 point of control of the range, and you guys can see here, we do have two naked daily points of control sitting right here. This one is sitting at about 39,589, and then this one is sitting right here at about 38,775, pretty close to where that 39K POC is, right? So I actually don't have these marked out on the chart, so let me actually add these really quick. So we'll say 39.6, right? So let's get a horizontal line here. Excuse me. And then we'll put it coordinates 39.6. Boom. And then we'll label it naked point of control. Where is it? NPOC, bada boom, daily. Right, and then we'll pull another one to the next NPOC, sitting right here at about, call it 38,775. 38,775. Boom. So these two naked points of control, and as you can see, that lower naked point of control is very close to the point of control of our range, which is, again, not only do we have the volume gap, not only do we have the naked points of control down here, which, by the way, guys, remember, on the way up, a big reason we were looking for those higher prices had to do with naked points of control above. Remember, these naked points of control oftentimes act as magnets for price, and it works the same way if you're going down, and these two naked points of control are just trying to suck price to them, and then on top of that, volume gap could make a quick move down to these levels, right? And then the volume kind of picks up down here closer to the low of the range. And then on top of that, you have the naked point of controls. And on top of that, you're also just thinking about your volume profile theory. What do we expect out of these volume profiles? You expect to flip the low to support, get a move to the POC where you get a little rejection. Then you're looking to get a move all the way up to the value area high. And if you get bearish confirmations at the high, you look for the short, which we did find and did take. And then where is the next likely place? Creighton C, I need your help, bro. Creighton C, if you're in the chat, please, for the love of God, or any CandleMafia members who know the answer to this question, please answer. Once you come up to that value area high and get a decisive rejection and you get stuck back and accepted into the range, where is the next likely place for price to go? That's right. Let's go. Shout out to Red Elephant. I think you guys might have answered that before I even asked the question. I think as soon as I said crate and seed, look at the POCs in chat, guys. Let's go. So shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome, man. Let's go. This is how I know you guys are paying attention. Let's get it. Shout out to the Mafia. But obviously, you are expecting to potentially get sucked towards that POC. Now, listen, guys, there is no guarantees here. Now, I know some of you guys might be, the people who tune into this live stream every day are probably sitting there thinking, yo, let's go. The POCs in chat are going nuts. But I don't want anyone thinking this is guaranteed, but if you watch the stream, you're probably thinking to yourself, it's like, he doesn't say it's guaranteed, but literally every time he says it, it happens. But don't let that trick you, guys. We could get faked out here, so I don't want anyone thinking that there's a guaranteed chance that we come down here, right? There's a pretty good chance, not a good chance, but there's definitely a possibility that we don't wind up getting the push down here, and we could just continue up, right? But again, based off of, that's why we're using multiple levels of confluence, right? It's not just the fact that the POC, just the volume profile theory. It's also, excuse me, God, I shouldn't have chugged all that Aztec and Cactus Moss water, guys. Dang. But we also have the low volume gap as well as the naked points of control. So it just makes a lot of sense. And regardless of, when we get this move down, these are going to be important levels to watch. So 39.6, 39,000, and 38,775. Definitely going to be a heavy, heavy area of support that I'm going to be looking at. Now, obviously, we can also look at our old range that we were looking at first kind of down here, right? And then as price action developed, it kind of turned into like a wonky volume profile. But obviously, these levels are still very important. But if we pull this kind of whole range, you could see that kind of down here towards that value area low, because we have to remember, right? Not only can we get sucked down towards these naked points of control and the POC of the range, which would make total sense because of what we just talked about, but also, if you lose this POC, it's going to be more likely to come down to the low of the range. And I'll be honest, guys, I would prefer a move to the low of the range. I don't know if we're going to get it, but I would much rather have a move down to the low of the range because I'd feel much more comfortable finding a fresh long position or another fresh long position as we deviate below this value area, right? And then, as you can see, your value area high of that previous range does wind up coming in right near that value area low. So these are just some of the levels that I'm watching. And then if we go ahead and move this a little bit, I want to pull it to, because this was another range that I was looking at. Yeah, and then if you just pull it on this area of consolidation to the current price action, you can see we're bouncing off this previous value area high. And if we wind up coming down and breaking the POC, we could be coming down to this value area low where that point of control of this local range is in pretty good confluence as well. So we have a lot of, everything checks out here, right? Like all the ranges that I've been pulling, we get some nice confluence on all of these levels. So these are definitely going to be the next key levels to look at on the way down. And I do think it's likely, right? Again, based off of the money flow on the 4 hour, as well as some of the other things we've been looking at. Now, with that being said, the question is, shout out to Gary C says, dump it. Let's go, baby. Dump this thing. But you guys know, I don't consider myself a bull or a bear. I'm definitely long-term bullish on. I'm a Bitcoin bull, right? I'm a crypto bull for sure at heart. But you guys know, I do fancy myself a dump here and there, just like everybody does. I think it's part of the human body. But anyway, as we look here, right, are we just likely to nuke from here, or are we likely to get another push to the upside? And if you guys watched the live stream last night, I'm kind of looking at the same thing that we were looking at yesterday, right? I do think that locally, we have momentum making higher lows here with a fresh green dot on the 4 hour. Nice little green candle here. Not that it really means too much that we have a green candle, but I think that, on the lower time frames, we could potentially, let's see, insert dump joke here. Shout out to Retro Mike. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. He says, told me to be here or he would, Crayon. Shout out to Creighton C. Crayon said, told me to be here or he would leak my LTC seed phrase. Let's go. Smash that like button, DJs. Yeah, guys, go ahead and smash that like button. If we get 550 likes on tonight's live stream, I will be giving away, I don't know. We'll add something to give away. We'll add a Frankie Candles hat or something good. But let's see. Okay. Okay. Somebody said it's good practice to get bearish and go short at support areas. Definitely a horrible idea. Flip that. He says, this is my takeaway from the analysis every time I tune in. Shout out to, I don't know if you're being like, if you're joking or not, or trying to be funny, but I will just be clear, just in case there's a chance that you actually do believe this, that is not the case, right? you do not want to go short at support, right? This is typically the big mistake that a lot of beginners make, right? You come up, right, and people think as this candle pushes up, right? So this is kind of the opposite example, but this candle starts pushing up. All the retail, this is literally the opposite of our basic strategy, right? As price pushes above resistance, this is where everybody gets bullish, and everybody wants the long resistance. But this is not what we do, and this is not what you should be doing. Well, I shouldn't tell you what to do, right? You can do whatever you want. I'm not a financial advisor, but if we push up here, a lot of people get long, right? A lot of people are like, oh my God, we're breaking out. Let's get into a long. And then oftentimes, those longs get absolutely slapped in the face, and then you get a big rejection. So we actually use that counter logic that chat said to get into this short position, right? Everybody thinks we're going to 46K, and that was a target that we were looking at. Obviously, we could unhide it here with our next targets. Right here, we had a naked point of control at 45,974, and so we were open to the idea of getting a move up here, but because of the bearish confirmations and the analysis that we did at this key level of resistance, remember, guys, the levels are your trap. This is not a game of hunting. This is a game of trapping. You find your key levels, wait for price to approach, and assess the situation, right? So as we got up here, a lot of people looking to go long, and we could literally see this by looking at the order flow. Not here, but we look at the order flow to figure out what is going on these candles, right? And we analyze the volume within the and the delta within the candle to figure out what is going on. Look at all these people longing the top. Right? All these people thought price was going up. What does this mean? I'm really glad that this person sent that chat, because this is going to be a really good learning experience for a lot of people. And I hope he was joking or like trying to be smart. But look at all these people longing, right? These are all the aggressive orders in the market, the buy orders. Look at all of these stacked buying imbalances, guys. This is letting you know that a lot of people were longing in the middle, or I'm sorry, at the very, very high wick of this candle. What does that mean? Well, once you have all these people longing on this candle, where are their stop losses going to be? And you can see that this whole candle got completely swallowed up on the way back down, right? And you have all these people longing on this candle, and basically, this adds fuel to the move to the downside, because all these people longing have stop losses, hopefully, or liquidation points, right? And if price doesn't wind up pumping, these people are all underwater now. So a lot of the time, you'll see a move back to the downside, and as price creeps down, you'll start liquidating and stopping all of these people out of their position, adding more selling pressure to the market. And that is how the market actually moves. And this is why 90% of retail do what that chat said and will try to short support and long resistance, right? Typically, people will be like, why is this guy always trying to long when we're losing support? And the reason is because as we come down, as you're losing this level, oftentimes what is happening here is you're getting a lot of longs. A lot of the longs are getting wrecked, right? And then price gets a sharp reversal. That's oftentimes what happens, and that is literally what we look for to get into our positions, right? So usually people are calling me crazy for longing as we're losing a level of support, but we look at this as an undervalued asset to then turn around and then enter the area of balance, which we know is our range. So same thing goes for the shorts, right? You come up to resistance, we're not just automatically shorting because we're at resistance, right? But we are actually waiting for price to interact with this level and then actually looking into the market to see what the aggressive buyers and sellers are doing. And then we analyze the order flow to figure out if we are likely going to get an actual breakout here or if we're going to likely return back into the range and get the move towards the POC. So I didn't see who said that chat, but shout out to whoever said that because hopefully that's not what you're doing. And if you keep watching, you'll learn the way we trade. But that's literally what we're doing. Flip that around. You want to short resistance or look for shorts at resistance, and then look at your longs for support. Shout out to Anna Maria. Shout out to you. Thank you for that super chat. Said, I just want to thank you. You were the only person from who I really learned something. I hope soon I'll get the premium Discord and learn more. Shout out to Anna Maria. Yeah, I try to make these as educational as possible. Obviously, like to okay. Oh, wait, hang on. Is your next target not lower? And are we not currently building support between 40 and 42? You may have entered your short at the top, but you are drawing lines on your chart that point way lower. Well, okay, so I want to work with you here, bro, because I'm going to help you. Just because first of all, just because I expect lower does not mean that we're going lower. I can 100% be wrong, right? Like we've been wrong before. And I think you're too binary, right? I don't care. Like I don't, I'm not just like rooting for lower prices, right? If I wake up tomorrow and the price action gives me new information that now tells me, like, here's the thing: I am always bullish and bearish. I'm always looking at both cases, right? And we could come up, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But and I am still bullish long term, looking for higher prices between 46 and 50K, right? But things do look like we could come lower, right? And I'm in my shorts, and I'm perfectly hedged. Like I said, right? We're in the swing long. I'm in 2 scalp longs that are deep in profit, and then I have my 2 shorts here. So I'm cushy. Profit's locked in on everything. So it doesn't matter, right? I'll either get stopped out of my shorts. I probably won't get stopped out of my long because my entries are like down here, right? Yeah, 28.6, I think, is the entry right here, right? So we'd have to get a pretty big dump to get stopped out of my long. But yes, there are targets lower because we don't know if we're coming down or going up, right? So if we come down, we know that we could look for fresh longs at these levels, right? But if we come up, we also have levels of resistance, which I'm going to bring up the new ones right now, where you could potentially enter another short. Or if we come up there and don't get the confirmations, then you can sit on your hands and be like, okay, we're not getting the bearish confirmations. I don't see the trade set up. I'm not going to take the trade because it's not there. And then you expect higher prices. Wait to come to your next key level and assess the situation, right? It's not about like coming on here and saying, hey, we're definitely going lower or we're definitely going higher. It's not how it works. I'm a trader, right? We make money going up and down. So it's an if this, then that statement. And I think that's probably what you're struggling with is the if this, then that part of it, right? If we come up, I have a plan. If we come lower, I have a plan. And there you go, right? So that's how you want to approach the trading. It's not about, just like being bearish and then like crossing your fingers and hoping price dumps, right? It's not how it works. But there you go. Hopefully somebody learned something off that explanation. But thank you for saying that because I think there's a lot of people yeah, okay. So, shout out to the, okay, so he says, follow up. Would it not be fair to say you're making a bear case while prices at support consolidating? Oh, yeah. I'm making a bearish case and a bullish case, right? We look at both cases no matter what because price goes up and down, and we make money when it goes up and when it goes down, right? So you have those 2 cases. You have to have the bullish case and the bearish case. So no matter what happens, you're prepared to get into a position and make money. Does that make sense? So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. But yeah, that was the bearish case. Now let's talk about the bullish case. So here we go, right? So we have this volume profile sitting right here, right? And obviously this was a big part of why we were looking for the short. And if we wind up coming up, and like I said, right, fresh green dot on the 4-hour, we also, on top of that, right, we talk about this constantly as we get moves to the downside or the upside. When you put in bullish divergences, specifically, I like to see this on the 4-hour, but when you get bullish divergences, right, you have a lower lows on your price into a key level of support, right, which is your golden pocket here. It's a pretty significant level of support, but when you have price, your momentum waves making higher lows, giving you a bullish divergence with money flow coming to the upside, that can sometimes mark a significant bottom, right? Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to fly to the upside, but it could be marking a significant bottom. Now, we did not really have that here. You can see we have actually we have a higher low here, so we don't have the traditional bullish divergence on the 4-hour. And we actually have money flow coming out, right? So what I would kind of take away from this, it doesn't mean that we can't come up and break these highs. So here's the thing, and I think this is the big problem that the person that made that comment is having, right? We could easily break the highs and come higher, right? Like that's not like I'm not here tribally trying to say we're going down, right? Like I don't care if we wind up getting a move through the highs, right? If we break these highs and come up, I'm happy, right? I'm in more longs than shorts right now, right? So I'm being conservative with the shorts, more greedy with the longs. So if we come up, I'm actually ecstatic. I would rather a push to the upside. But you better believe we're going to make a bag if we come further down, right? So if we do come up, right, with the 4-hour money flow coming out, I think it would be more likely. What would we expect here? We would be expecting a push to the upside, but a lackluster push to put in a lower high and continue to the downside, right? So, but locally, it actually looks like we could get a little bit of a pump back to the upside where I won't because I'm already short from the top, but if we push back up here, there are some key levels I would be looking at if I wasn't in a short to look for a potential short. Not set a resistance level and blindly short the level, right? That's not the case. But assess the situation when we get to that level to see if the short is valid. So what I would do here is pull our fib from the swing high all the way to the low. And you can see here that we do have some nice confluence right about here on that golden pocket value area low, right? So price comes up, which I don't think is impossible because, I mean, we put bull divs in at the golden pocket. We are now putting in a higher low. Whoops, at a golden pocket, right? So we could easily continue to the upside, but I would expect it to be a lackluster pump based off the 4-hour money flow coming out. That doesn't guarantee that we can't break the highs and come higher, right? And we're just prepared if that happens. But if we do come up, this golden pocket value area low confluence, well, I guess we have to look at it on the 4-hour, but that value area low golden pocket confluence will be kind of where I would start looking for bearish confirmations, right? Now, obviously, not obvious. I don't know why I said obvious. This is like definitely not obvious to most people. But looking at the order flow here, guys, we do also, if we continue up here, we do also have some, let me pull up the 30-minute actually. We do also have some single prints up here. We were talking about this in the premium Discord last night. We do have some single prints right in this area as well. And if we zoom out here and turn off the rect bubbles, you can see that those single prints are between 42,630 and 43,238. So what does this mean, right? Not only is this an untested area on the charts that price is likely to go back and test, but if we come up into these single prints and we start getting accepted into them, we could fill them very quickly, which could bring us up to about 43.3 almost, right? And potentially even higher, right? But, and you do have some stacked single prints above that as well. But, you know, this is an untested area on the chart. So if we do pump up, this would be a big target for me. And then if we do wind up getting into that area, remember, like about 43.4, right? Come back onto the trading view chart, 43.4. Where is that? Right up here near the value area high of the range. So these two areas of resistance are still valid in my point, or this area is still valid in my opinion. And then we have this new level down here that we could potentially reject. So if we do continue pushing up, which again in the short term I don't think is unlikely, and this is I think what confuses a lot of people, right? Like I'm bullish and bearish, 100%. People are like, you're just saying it could go up or down. Absolutely what I'm saying, 100%. That's how it works, right? And because we make money in both directions, we have to be bullish and bearish at the same time, right? So we're not just like, like I think it's going to be really hard moving into the bull market. You're going to have all these new people coming in, and they're going to be like, oh my God, he's bearish. And it's like, why is he in a long? And it's like, no, it's not how it works. But if we continue up in the short term, guys, and we come up here, number one area or first area I'd be looking at is right here to potentially get a rejection. And then if we push up into the 786 value area high level, that could be another area where we could potentially put in a lower high before continuing back down. And then, in my opinion, if we are going to continue on, I should have looked at that guy's name. I don't know if he's still here, but hopefully I'm helping him out, right? But you know, if we do push up, right, once we break that 786, in my opinion, and we get over that value area high, that is kind of where we could potentially see price just break through and just keep creeping up higher and higher. And in which case, you know, I will just be cashing out on the longs, right? So with that being said, guys, those are the levels of resistance. These are the levels of support. If we get a move up, simple plan, looking to short these levels. Not just blindly, though, right? We could come up into this level, start bing-bonging around, and things look bullish, right? And then you have to assess the situation as you come to the key levels, right? And we talk about more about that in the premium Discord, right? That's where we do a little bit more detailed analysis on what's actually going on at the levels. But then if we wind up continuing down, these areas are where I'd be looking for the longs. So there you go, guys. That is basically what we're looking at on Bitcoin. But other than that, yeah, we do have a little bit of a hidden bullish divergence here as well. Higher highs, lower lows here on your momentum waves. So, you know, again, not impossible to come up and break the highs, right? But just based off market cipher, it does look like this trend is more likely to come back down to the low. Number one, you're in your value area. Money flow is coming out, and your POC is just below you, right? But it's not impossible to break up. That's how we make money in the market, is by not being completely biased in one direction. So there you go. Hopefully that opens everybody's eyes into what I am looking at. Let's see. Shout out to Savage Trade, said that's code for short when Frankie Candles takes his hat off, and long if he keeps it on. Shout out to Savage Trades. See that money flow coming up on the 1 hour. I'm just kidding, guys. There's no secret signals here. Anyway, I'm just kidding. For real, there is no secret signals. Let's see. Hey, shout out to Marion. Shout out to Marion. Says, kudos from Token Metrics team. I love your style. Keep it up. Shout out to Marion. Shout out to Token Metrics. We love Token Metrics. I actually should bring it up more on the live stream. But yeah, shout out to Token Metrics. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate you very much. All right, let's continue on here as my voice decides to take a walk here. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you so much for that super chat, bro. He says, okay, yes, Mike can be here, but the new hat sneak peek runway show is for OGs and the respected. Also, the consigliere gets his own row and samples that you and Tony autographed something nice on, like "Love you the most, Creighton." Shout out to Creighton C. Maybe we will start signing some of those hats, writing nice things on them for Creighton. Shout out to Creighton C. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Dude, you do not have to send a $50 super chat. You're the man, bro. Thank you so much. Put some C's. Spam the chat with C right now if you love Creighton C as much as I do. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's see. I find myself being glued to my device to look at the charts. How many? Oh, God, here come the C's. Oh, no, where'd that go? Where'd that go? Oh, yeah, find myself being glued to my device looking at the charts. How many coins would you recommend keeping because I don't want to miss a big pump? I got part of CTC this morning. Okay, so shout out to Lloyd. Great question. Shout out to Time says Frankie does it his way. Shout out to Time. As long as Time agrees with it, right? Because Time's pretty important. But shout out to you, bro. But yeah, Lloyd, very good question. I would say, listen, I don't know if there's a remedy for staring at the charts constantly. But trust me, I suffer from that as well. But are you talking about trading coins? Are you talking about just like short-term trades? Are you talking about long-term position trades, right? Like, what are you talking about? Your long-term investments or your short-term trades? If you let me know in chat, I will try to find the more detailed. I just need a little bit more to answer the question. But I would say, listen, if you're new to trading, like you're looking to leverage trade on something like FEMAX, that's where FEMAX and BingX is really where I usually trade. But if you're looking to short-term trade like I am on leverage, right? Then this is basically, I would recommend sticking to Bitcoin, right? It's going to be much easier for you to keep an eye on Bitcoin. And obviously, a lot of things follow Bitcoin, so you're not going to have to keep your eye on so many charts. But if you're talking about long-term investing, I would find certain projects that you truly believe in the future of, and then just buy them and hold them long-term. Don't even bother looking at the charts for those positions because you're not planning on selling that. For me, my long-term bags, I'm not even thinking about selling my long-term bags until, 2025, right? Waiting till the top of the bull market, the pop of the bull market. Or the top, depending on what you want to say. But there you go. Hopefully that helps you out, bro. But I just don't know if you're talking about leverage trades or, holding for long term. All right, let's see. Got me a nice bag of Ada with my Christmas bonus. Shout out to Angela's cool. Shout out to you. Or Angel is cool. Shout out to you. Welcome in. Good to see you here. But yeah, let's go ahead and see. You should do... shout out to Sharp. I don't know if I could do that. But let's see. Thanks. But leverage trading. Shout out to Lloyd. So I would recommend if you're new to trading, bro, I would recommend keeping the leverage low, and I would just stick to Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin moves plenty if you're trading with leverage to make money, right? It doesn't mean that you can't trade the altcoins, but just understand that you could see an altcoin that looks super bullish, and if like Bitcoin decides to nuke, a lot of the altcoins like to follow. So just be careful with that. There was a long time in the beginning of my trading journey where I would just trade the altcoins thinking, oh, well, the percentage move is way bigger. I'll make more money, but they're also much more volatile. And again, like a lot of times they would look bullish, and then Bitcoin would dump, and they would just follow, and I'd be like, what the heck? Why didn't these signals play out? And it's because Bitcoin was looking for a move down. So, hey, I see Tiara's in chat. Hannah King? Hannah, are you here? Shout out to Hannah. Oh, look at that. Yo, let's go. Hannah King spamming those C's. Shout out to Hannah. What is going on, Hannah? Thank you for being here. She is the princess of the Candle Mafia, not to be confused with Jessica, our female Candle Mafia representative. But shout out to Hannah King. Hope you're doing well. Welcome in, and thank you for being here. So, guys, it's about that time to start taking a look at those altcoins. So go ahead and drop your favorite altcoins in the chat. Rob the Crypto Snob, which actually I haven't seen Rob tonight yet. Is he here? I think he is. There he is. I see him. There's so many blue and green names now. It's very hard to, isolate people. Rob the Crypto Snob will count up the votes and let us know what we're looking at. And don't forget, guys, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, we are going to be on Crypto Billy's Twitter space, and it's going to be super cool. So definitely check that out. Link pinned to the top of the chat. Let's see. Shout out to Anna Maria says, I say thank you for the super chat. And she says, exactly this is what happened to me with XRP. When BTC goes down, XRP just follows like crazy. Yeah, even if XRP is showing super bullish signs. That's why I always recommend people sticking to Bitcoin, at least in the beginning. And to be honest, guys, like, if I see a setup on an altcoin, I will trade it, but I'm always monitoring Bitcoin as well, right? It's very, very important that you understand that, because you're going to wind up losing a bunch of trades because you're only looking at the altcoin. So you have to keep an eye. You got to keep an eye on the big boys, because they do move the market. I feel obligated to tell you guys this because I don't like to hide anything, even though this wouldn't really be hiding anything. But I did enter a degenerate long position, guys. Now, I didn't put this in the premium Discord because I only like to put the highest probability setups and the actual well-thought-out trades in the Discord, right? Because, obviously we want people to make money, not lose money. But I am in a very, very degenerate long on BingX. Maybe I can log in on the computer here, but it is on my phone. Just making sure that I'm not like doxing any information here. I get very nervous showing my phone to the screen. But I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but I am in the position because I know somebody in the comments is going to be like, well, you didn't show the position. But here it is. It's a very, very small position, but it's on 77x. It's not 100x, so it's not full degen, but it's only 77x. But it is a long position, right? So here you go. I don't know. Hang on. Let me pull up OBS. God, I am paranoid that I'm going to leak something. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this. Well, there you go. Come on. Basically, we'll only see fingerprints. Come on. Focus up, baby. Focus up. Well, there you go. I don't know if you guys can read that, but it's up 48%. Not 58, 48. But yeah, that was just a little long position because... again, right, like we can get this move up, right, in either, more likely, in my opinion, up to these resistance levels before turning back around. But even if we don't move back around, like, why not be in a degenerate long position and just make more money on the way up? But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Oh, my God, the altcoins are flying in here. Let's see. Wow, 77x. Frankie's a degen. Shout out to Bitfrog. Yeah, and I'll be honest, guys, like there wasn't too much that... There really wasn't too much to get me into this position, other than the fact that looking at the order flow. I mean, hey, I'll spit a little bit of sauce here, right? Because there still wasn't like no reason I got into the trade, right? Like this is still my degenerate trades are not even really gambles, right? They're pretty well calculated. But you can see we had a lot of the longs wrecked down on this deviation from that old volume profile or time profile, or just this market profile here. But we got a lot of the longs wrecked out, right? And then we got a reversal, and now we're putting in a higher low on the golden pocket, right? And oftentimes, if you're going to see a trend continue to the upside, where is that lower high going to come in? Likely it's going to come in on that golden pocket. So this is meant to be a little bit more of a scalp position, potentially targeting the value area high of this value area high right here, sitting at about 41,930. Right, 41,930. So just a little bit of a scalp trade, not really meant to be anything crazy. Probably going to lock in profits here somewhat soon. But again, we had a lot of the longs wrecked here, putting in that higher low, and there you go, right? This is oftentimes when I use that Lux Algo strategy that I talk to you guys about so much. And let me see if let me see. Let's pull it up real quick. Let's see. DYDX. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Ava. We could go ahead and take a look at AVAX DYDX for you. But let's come on down to a lower time frame. And see what, let's see if we got the Lux Algo confirmations. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Whoops. Let me actually lock this. Bear with me, guys. I don't want that. We'll just leave it. Okay. But yeah, this entry was mostly off of order flow. But I was going to bring up this Lux Algo strategy, but the confirmation, I don't believe, was there. But anyway, we'll see how that plays out. Let's see. Shout out to Crimson Caravan Company. Shout out to B-Rad Crypto. Says, crush AVAX short today. Shout out to B-Rad. Congratulations. Let's go. B-Rad, did you say that was your first trade ever? Shout out to B-Rad Crypto. Let me know. Crimson Caravan Company says, ever since I started Frankie Candles, my hair grew back, my wife came back, and I'm no longer sexually dysfunctional. Thank you, Frankie Candles. Shout out to Crimson Caravan Company. That is like winning the jackpot, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out to C3, baby. But let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see. Bada boom. Darren Does Things says, Frankie, if you pulled from the 15-minute pivot, 15-minute pivots, you get a 7-8-6 tap perfectly. Ooh, interesting. Let's see here. I don't know. Let me see. What is he talking about? These. I assume he's talking about this high to this low. I don't know what pivots he's talking about. But shout out to Darren Does Things. One thing I do know, pull from the closes, not the wicks. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. I can't get it perfect there. But interesting. Okay, shout out to Darren Does Things. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Let's get it. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, shout out to Jurgen. Shout out to you, bro. Said Market Cipher is awesome. Shout out to you. Let's see. Okay, let's continue on here. I believe Rob the Crypto. Oh, there we go. All coin votes are in and being counted. But first off, guys, let's go ahead and check out Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. Also getting a little bit of a bounce here. But guys, obviously, we were looking at some pretty key levels here between the key level here at 2350 and this level here at 2146. We flipped this to support, got the move through the low volume gap, came up to our next key level, rejected it almost perfectly, and then wound up tapping this key level again almost to the exact dollar. So, and now we are just kind of bing-bonging around. So your key level of support on Ethereum is going to be right here, 2146, sitting right about there. And then if we lose this, I'm not really expecting too much downside for Ethereum unless we wind up breaking this level here. But once we bring in the indicators here, taking a look, money flow coming out, but VWAP coming up, right? So we may get support on this key level, get another bounce back up to these key levels, where I would be looking at this golden pocket 786 retracement, similar to Bitcoin, right? Money flow on the 4 hour also coming out pretty aggressively here, as well as the 10 hour, right? So with that being said, we are likely going to, in my opinion, get a short-term bounce, right? I could be wrong, but a short-term bounce. But just like on Bitcoin, because of the way money flow looks, remember, money flow indicates the longer-term trend. And if that is going to be the case, I would expect this to be a lackluster pump to the upside to come into that golden pocket 786 retracement before getting a bigger move down. And then obviously, if we lose this key level at 2146, I would be looking for your next key level of support to be here at that value area high daily naked point of control, sitting at about 1920. Or 1930, I should say. And then obviously you do have some levels in between. You have a golden pocket sitting here at about $2,100, 786 sitting at about $2,000 even. So some intermediary levels that you should definitely be keeping an eye on as well. Let's see. Shout out to Creighton C. Wait, hang on. We got a couple of super chats here, guys. Hang on one second. Let me get through these. As the altcoins, I'm sure, are either in or very close to being in. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, we got to 100K subscribers. Dave Digital said we get to 100K subscribers. Dave Digital said he would put your logo on the front of his house. LFG. Hey, it's a building. Shout out to Dave Digital. Yes, I'll take that challenge. Or not challenge, but I will take that. When we hit 100K, the Frankie Candles logo goes on the front of Dave Digital's house. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Dave and Crypto Billy. But also, shout out to Creighton C. Said, I call bull S $. Dave already has Frankie's logo on his house. Is this true? Send me a picture in Discord if this is true. Your Christmas lights or your holiday lights are just like Frankie Candle's logo. I know how I'm decorating my house now. Shout out to you guys. And shout out to Wolfman 8 My Crypto. Said, if Dave does it, I will make the sign. And if you guys do it, I will fund the sign. So you guys don't have to spend any money. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's see where... Bada boom. There we go. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Oh, wait. What just happened? It was already pinned. Tony D pinned it, or someone already pinned it, and I unpinned it. But there we go. All right, let's take a look. I don't know if we're going to get through all of these today, but we will try to get through as many as we possibly can. Shout out to Jessica, said I bought Bitcoin today. Let's go. Shout out to Jessica. Let's see. Okay, let's continue on. Taking a look at, oh no, Rob took away the altcoins. And God, Golden just gifted memberships. Let's go. Shout out to Golden. What is going on, guys? This live stream is going haywire. Shout out to Golden. Thank you so much for those gifted memberships. Shout out to the Mafia. Shout out to Dave Digital said, I'm in. What is going on, guys? Spam that golden emoji if you just got a Frankie Candles membership. Let's get it. Unbelievable. You get one. You get one. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Shout out to Golden. Let's go. There's Crypto Billy with the you get one. Let's go. Yo, Jerkin goes, wow. Yeah, guys, it is lit over here with the memberships. Golden, you're a savage, bro. Shout out to Golden, who is our #1 sponsor of the channel. He said, sorry. Again, pin my next comment. Where'd it go? It's moving too fast, Rob. Oh, God. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Thank you for that, bro. Another super chat. Unbelievable. Shout out to Giorgio, shout out to you, bro. Said, first month in the green, learning a ton down here. One question that might be dumb. I'm finding myself getting stopped out in profit, and then price moves my way. Any advice on that? Listen, Giorgio, that's a great question, bro. First of all, congrats on your money. I mean, kind of, but like, congrats on your wins, bro. Congrats on the success. But great question, right? What I would kind of tell you, right? It is a little bit of a tricky thing trying to understand when to hold your winners and when to cut your losers. It's one of the harder things to kind of get a hang of. But here's the number one thing. Getting stopped out too early, especially if you're new to trading or somewhat new to trading, you don't consider yourself a pro, getting stopped out in profit is a good problem to have. Right? So you can always wind up fixing that, but you're making money, right? Much better off that you're getting stopped out in profit than holding on for too long, being greedy, and then you're in the green and you're like, no, it's going to make $1 million, and you would just wind up getting stopped out and you went from massively in the green to in the red. You do not want that to happen to you. So number one, that is one of the better problems to have. Getting stopped out in profit is better than getting liquidated or stopped out at a loss, right? So what I would recommend doing is, well, there's kind of a few ways you could do it, right? You could hold your trade a little longer before you move your stop loss. You can take partial profit, and before you move your stop loss to profit, right? Oftentimes, what I will do, if we have something like a volume profile, if I were looking for a long position, I don't know why these are green again. I changed these to match the charts, but if I were looking for a long, say from here to here. Typically, if you get deep enough in the green, I will take profits. But before I move my stop loss into profit, what I will do is I will take some profit and then just move my stop loss to break even, right? So what does this do? It doesn't choke your trade as much, right? So you have a little bit more breathing room, but you're also kind of protected because you've already taken a little bit of profit. And then if you get stopped out, you get stopped out at break even. Whereas if you push into profit, your trade has a little bit less room to breathe. So in this case, you would have gotten stopped out. Your stop loss is in profit. You would have gotten stopped out in profit. But what I like to do is, before I move my stop loss up physically, or before I move it into profit, I'll just move it to break even, right? That way it gives it a little bit more, right? So you're coming back down and you're like, right. So if I was in this long position right here, I would move my stop loss to break even in profit. Then I'll move my stop loss all the way up in profit, right? But in this case, if you moved your stop loss into profit early, right, you might have gotten stopped out here before the next big move up. So it is something that takes time to get used to or time to get the hang of. But those are kind of the quick tips that I would recommend, not financial advice. But listen, it's a better, when I first started, one of my biggest struggles was holding on to trades way too long, expecting to get rich overnight. And I would just watch my trades go from, I'd enter the trade, it would go massively in the green, and then I would never take profit and just watch it come back down and stop me out for a loss. You don't want to be in that position. The problem you're having is much better. But shout out to you, bro. Congratulations on your wins. Okay. Let's see. Let me find Let me see, Rob. Let me find Rob the Crypto Snobs. And shout out to Golden for gifting those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Shout out to you, bro. You're an absolute GOAT. As you guys know, Golden is one of our biggest sponsors. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop it up there. Okay. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. AVAX, Link, XRP, Filecoin, and Cast. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at AVAX, which has been doing good recently. Let's go ahead and pull it up. So here we are, right? Let me take a sip of the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water, and let me pull up a different chart. We don't want the Binance chart. We want the Coinbase chart. Let's go. Don't forget, guys, Crypto Billy's Twitter space is tonight at 9 p.m. Link, not in the chat anymore, but Tony will spam the link periodically. All right, let's see. Dave Digital said, Frankie, so I did that today. Finally, my rule was if I had 100% of my trade, I have to, hang on. My rule was if I had 100% of my trade, I have to take 50%, and I did it without blinking. Let's go. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Okay, let's see. Taking a look at AVAX. So, guys, actually, can we get a little bit more price history on AVAX? Where is our... I need to start saving this stuff to my watch list. Let's see. I guess it was the Coinbase chart. Okay. But basically what we're looking at on AVAX here, guys, is obviously we are, let's pull up the VPVR, right? VPVR, massive volume gap. We talked about this the other day, or I think yesterday, as we have most of our volume sitting down here, right? This is where a majority of your volume was trading, right? As price clung to this lower level. Now, once we broke above this level here, we have basically cracked into a low volume gap. And right now we are tapping on the door kind of to an even more aggressive low volume gap, right? So not only are we hitting our head right now on this little spike in volume, but if we break out of this, it is, in my opinion, going to be more likely if we get above here, flip it to support, to fly through that low volume gap, giving us that quick move up to this next key level, being marked out right here by the visible range volume profile. And it's also in confluence with the previous value area low of your range up here. So let me go ahead and mark this out real quick. And let me see if I can find, let's see. Let's see. Okay. AVAX. Come on. Do we not have a, there we go. This is, oh, this is the chart. This is what I was looking for. Okay. So it was Binance. So here we are, right? Again, I'll pull that back up. VPVR, right? And let me actually just turn off these value area low, value area low, value area low, value area high POC. But you can see, right, not much above here, not much above us, holding us back from this next key level at about 53, at about 53.26, right? So if we continue up, that's the next key level of not only resistance, but also the key level that you want to be watching, because if you wind up flipping this to support, that POC and then value area high are likely going to be those next targets for AVAX, getting all the way up to that $89 level. So this is what I'd be watching on AVAX. Kind of not really much has changed here, right? But we do have a daily red dot printing, so not impossible to cool off a little bit more. But remember, guys, the higher time frames, right? Like that conversation we had earlier today about like why are you shorting support, which isn't even the case really. But one of the hardest things here is why is he saying it's going to go down if he's bullish, right? And that's the hard part, right? Is that we are bullish on the long-term time frames, right? Fresh money flow crossover. I do think it's more likely than not that we do get up here, right? Fresh money flow crossover. Right? That last money flow crossover that we had was probably somewhere over here, right? Before we got a massive pump up. But these are indicating, right? Even the weekly, right? Fresh money flow crossover on the weekly indicates that the trend is likely to continue up, but the VWAPs coming down indicate a potential pullback to put in a higher low potentially to continue that move to the upside, right? And now those are the targets I'm looking at. And but again, these VWAPs on the higher time frames, right? Red dot looking to print on your 4-day, your 3-day. Your 2-day is not printing quite yet, but also looking to print it. Also have a bearish divergence potentially printing at resistance here. Could give you a pullback. And then that daily red dot is currently printing, right? Again, indicating a potential pullback. But again, because of the fact that we have the money flow coming up on those higher time frames, I'm not expecting a nuke to zero. I'm expecting a pullback and a higher low and a continuation to the upside. And now you guys have the key targets right there. Simply a game of volume profiles, guys. All right, there we go. Let's see. Shout out to Jurgen says, if you put a bullish bear to fight a bearish bull, who would win? I'm tweaking out. You broke my brain. You broke my brain, bro. Shout out to Jurgen. Yeah, you just broke my brain, bro. I don't know. I think it just cancels out and they just lay on the floor. I don't know. Shout out to Jurgen. Let's see. Let's see. I shorted BTC. Short BTC to 0 now, guys. Shout out to Martyr. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. Not financial advice. You can do it if you want. But let's go ahead and continue on. Let's take a look at our next altcoin, which is going to be Link. Also doing pretty good. Whoops, not the Bybit chart. Take a look at the Coinbase chart. And here we are, guys. Where did we reject? Well, guys, what if I told you we rejected a level that was pulled from all the way back here, right? And very similar to AVAX, right? When AVAX comes back up into, right, this is a teachable moment, guys. This is a teachable moment. If we're looking, look how Link, I mean... It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. This is how we do this, right? Like, we knew we had this level up here from the old range, right? Now, if we go back to AVAX really quickly, I want to show you same thing. If AVAX approaches this value area, we're likely going to get a rejection, right? And if we don't get a rejection, we now know where price is likely to go next, which would be the POC or value area high, right? So going back to Link, very similar situation, right? So we're up at that bull market value area, and we're getting a rejection, right? And we had some signals to go short here. I did not short it, but I could just see by looking at the chart right now, higher highs into your key level of resistance. That is a key part, right? You're not just shorting random bear divs, but bearish divergence into your key level of resistance. Did I say support? Resistance. And you can see how well we respected that level, closing the bodies just below. These are not just willy-nilly random levels. Shout out to Ava said, I'm trying to subscribe to your Discord, but the Discord server subscription says 60. If you go to the website, it says 36 for the kitchen one. Is it? Yes. Shout out to Ava. Tony D, if you could help out Ava in the chat right now. If you say Tony D's name 3 times, Tony D, Tony D, Tony D, he actually pops up in the chat. It's pretty wild. But shout out to Ava. Let's see if he might make me a liar. I'm kidding. He definitely won't. But shout out to Ava. Got it. Thanks. No problem, Ava. I think you're probably, the problem you're having is the difference between an annual subscription and a monthly subscription. It's a little cheaper if you do an annual and pay everything up front. But Tony D will come in and clarify that all for you right now. But let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Pokemon Jack said, I sent a super chat and it didn't get read. Shout out to Crypto Nate. Let's go. Shout out to Crypto Nate. Thank you for gifting those Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Everybody just be given to the Mafia. I love it. Let me see. Shout out to Pokemon Jack. I did not mean to miss that. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. He says, thoughts on the alt market. I have cash. Hope it drops. Pokemon Jack. Shout out to you, bro. Listen, don't, in my opinion, right, you don't want to chase the pumps, right? Like, you don't want to FOMO into pumps. Obviously, if you never buy, you'll never get in, right? So, like, if you bought the top of this pump, you might have thought you were buying the top, but then we pumped again, and now you didn't buy the top anymore, right? But I will say, for me, right, it really depends on what altcoins you're looking at, right? Like, some of the altcoins are definitely not a good idea to buy right now. But some of them are still looking pretty good for buys, right? So, it really... It's kind of a hard question, right? Because not even like, even if you're looking at altcoin, even if you're looking at like Bitcoin dominance and everything like that, sometimes there's alts, right? Like, even without looking at the Bitcoin dominance, like, there are just those outliers that are going to absolutely rip. But my kind of thoughts on that are, I think we could still continue up in the alt market. But I'm not like really like, most of my DCAs have been stopped at this point. I'm waiting for a bigger correction to start buying again. But understand, just because I've paused, like, I have been, shout out to Tony D. Ava, Tony D just answered you, full explanation. There you go. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Tony. I've already accumulated a lot of my altcoins, right? Like I was accumulating a lot of the altcoins, which is funny enough. Not everybody, but a lot of people thought we were stupid for buying down here because everyone thought we were going to 8K. And I was accumulating after this dump right here. I started accumulating, a heavy Bitcoin and ETH here, and then started going heavier into the alts. But I've been accumulating the alts a bit here, right? So I'm not chasing the pumps as much, but everybody's in a different situation, and that's kind of how I feel about it. I was pretty well positioned for the alts up until this, for now. But yeah, I'm waiting for a bigger dump on the alts to get back in. So, but there you go. Let's see. And again, like looking at, like, let's go back to Link, right? Looking at Link, come up to the higher time frames, like pretty fresh weekly money flow crossover, right? So I mean, like a lot of the, like even the weekly on XRP, pretty fresh money flow crossover. Near hasn't even gotten a money flow crossover just yet. Synthetics, not fresh money flow crossover. Like these are still very early in the money flow crossover. Even Dogecoin, look at Dogecoin, pretty fresh in the green here, right? This is a new look at the last money flow crossover on the weekly into the green. You crossed over here, and then absolute ridiculous bull market, right? So I'm not saying that just, we crossed over here and we're about to just, Lambo candle up to $1 bazillion for Dogecoin. But this is how I look at the market, right? So if I were you, what I'd be doing is looking at the alts that you want to accumulate, come up to the higher time frames and try to assess the situation, right? Because again, just because we're crossing into the green doesn't guarantee a move up. But in my opinion, not the worst time for me to buy. This is not financial advice. I can't tell you when to buy, but that's just my general thoughts on it. So there you go. Let's go ahead and continue on. Let's go back to Link and cover the full analysis, right? So we put in, the bearish divergences here on many different time frames. Let's go zoom out a little bit. So you bear higher highs into the key level of resistance. You didn't really get it there. You probably had it on the daily. Yeah, daily bear div, very pretty clear sign of a cool off to come in. But overall, again, like looking at the higher time frames, like fresh money flow crossovers into the green on the higher time frames, indicating the trend is likely to continue to the upside. So your next key level of resistance is obviously going to be the value area low, doorway to higher prices, right? We've had this labeled on the chart for quite some time. So once you get above this level, right, bing bong, right, flip this to support. That is where you could potentially get a move up to your next key levels, potentially targeting the POC at $26, right? So that's what I'd be looking at on Link for the most part. But in general, you do have a 2-day bear div printing here. So we may be able to get a little bit more downside in the meantime. But over the long term, once you get that pullback, I will be looking for potential higher prices on Link. And then, actually, let's pull up Trading Light real quick. And let's see, can we get Link on here? Whoops. Come on, baby. Link, USDT, Binance. Let's check those naked points of control. Turn off the heat map. Nope, that was turning it all the way up. Well, we'll just keep the significant orders in there. And actually, let me just hide the heat map so I don't get confused here. Yeah, so you have quite a bit of naked points of control here. And let me actually pull the fib on Trading Light. Boom. Yeah, so this zone right here, naked point of control, golden pocket retracement of your entire move up here. Not the entire move up, but from this swing here. And then actually you could probably going to get, yeah. So next key level of support, in my opinion, is going to be here, where you have your golden pocket, right? Golden pocket, naked point of control. This would be that next area that I would be watching, right? So if we continue down off that 2-day bear div, understand that, I mean, not only that, but also you have your 786 sitting here, right? 786. Come on. Oh, God, turn off the magnet. So you have your 786 naked point of control down here as well, which could be another level to look at. In my opinion, I would actually prefer to see the 786 hit, right? Reason being is look at the volume, right? High volume, clinging to the high volume node, right? Price is clinging to that high volume node. Once you lose these lows here, you're likely going to start pushing through this low volume gap, which could cause a quick move down. Golden pocket is going to be support, especially with that naked point of control. But if you lose that and you come down to your 786 and this naked point of control down here, that is going to be a more reliable level, in my opinion, because of your high volume node supporting you. So take that for what it's worth. Those are the next key levels I'm looking at. And just for the record, 786, sitting at 1172, Daily naked point of control, the second one at 1128. Golden pocket sitting at 1275. And then that naked point of control in confluence with that golden pocket at 1249. So there you go. Those are the next key levels of support I'd be looking for on Chainlink. So there you go. All right, let's see. Shout out to let's go. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Zach Leroy. Says big time up 25% LFG. Shout out to Zach Leroy, and shout out to anybody holding big time. Which is still, I still haven't looked into it. People keep telling me to not really. But I do see a lot of people talking about it in chat. I think it's a gaming play. I believe maybe Zach's the one that told me that, but I haven't looked into it yet. I've been super busy. But hey, shout out to anybody who holds big time. Congratulations on your wins. And shout out to DRM Brothers. Shout out to you. Thank you for the super chat. Said, can you look at Ronin? Yes. Yes. We could try to take a look at Ronin. No problemo. I would write it down, but I don't have a pen. But we'll take a look at it right now. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Says, George says, you missed my super chat. Shout out to George. Let me see. ICP. Yeah, shout out to George. Thank you for the super chat, bro. We could try to take a look at ICP. I didn't mean to hit that button. But yeah, just a reminder, guys, we're not going to be able to look at every single alt. So just a reminder, the super chats do help me see the altcoins over the regular chats because they pop out, obviously. Maybe not because I keep missing some of the super chats. But we're not just because you super chat doesn't mean we're guaranteed to look at it. It does help, but we can't look at every single alt or we would never end the live stream. Which I wouldn't hate, actually. But let's continue on. So on Chainlink, guys, that's what I'm looking at. Those are the next key levels of support. And then resistance is obviously going to be your value area low. If we break that value area low, likely to get a move up to these next key levels. So let's go ahead. We'll take a quick look at Ronin. Check it out on MEXC. This is... I don't know what this project is. But let's try our best here. Absolutely ripping, very clearly here. That daily bear div did wind up bringing you down a bit, but that VWAP is coming up. This thing looks like it might want to pump again. Like I said, I don't know anything about this project. Is this the most price history we're gonna get? Probably. If I had to go. Oh no, maybe not. Okay, all right, much more price history. Okay, all right, actually not interesting. Okay, I actually got a decent bit of history here. Okay, so let's see. Let's pull this little range right here. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, just like all the other coins here, right here, previous value areas. Let's see. We'll make this neutral, and then we will mark out the value area high, POC, and value area low. Whoops. Boom. Okay. So... yeah, this is what I would look for. I mean, this is pretty simply put. You came up to resistance, right? And you wound up getting the rejection. Bear div on the daily wound up bringing you down. This is the 12-hour, but the daily bear div brought you down. Really what I'd be looking for here, fresh green dot on your 12-hour. Yeah, 45-minute fresh crossover. This thing looks like it might want to pump again. Not financial advice, but yeah, money flow on the 4-hour is coming out. But this is what I would tell you here. If you continue up, which doesn't look impossible, I wouldn't even look to flip the value area low. Excuse me. I would look to flip the POC because it's very close to the value area low. Once you get up to that POC and flip it to support, that's where I'd expect the bigger move up towards your value area high, sitting at $2.61. So there you go. That's simply put what I'd be looking for. Money flow coming out on the 4-hour is pretty bearish in my opinion with the VWAP coming down. But you can see, I don't know what this is, but you can see money flow was coming down here and just yeeted right back up for another pump. So I don't know if... sometimes this will happen. I don't know if this is a meme coin. By the name, I mean, it doesn't scream meme coin, to be honest with you. It's not like it's like Elon baby Lambo Doge. But let me see. Let me see if I can pull up Ronin. Actually, I'm sure people in chat are telling me what it is right now. So let's check. Does anybody know what this is? Oh, Ronin is the best gaming blockchain out there. Okay, so there you go. So yeah. Okay, so with that being said, this it kind of makes me a little bit more bearish on the 4-hour money flow, right? If it was a meme coin, I'd be like, hey, this thing could rip at any moment. I'd be much more cautious with this. But the fact that this is a legitimate project makes me think, or if it is a legitimate project, which sounds like it could be, makes me think that, this would make me a little bit more worried, but it also doesn't guarantee a bearish sentiment, right? But with that being said, I mean, really your next level of resistance is very clear, right? You got to break this purple box to see higher prices, right? So from here to here, shorts, boom, right? So if you come up, you got to flip this purple box. Once you flip this purple box, in my opinion, you can come up and attack that value area high at $2.61. But if you don't get above this value area, you could wind up seeing a move to the downside with the money flow coming out on your 4-hour, right? 16-minute money flow, this thing looks like pumpy. But money flow is generally rolling off here. So about fresh green dot, kind of indecisive here, to be honest. But those are the key levels. You got to get above this purple box to see higher prices, in my opinion. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out, bro. Shout out to, I forget who asked for it. Somebody asked for it. Let's see. Tell me the crypto weather. Shout out to Ray. You know what's funny? I actually do think that comparing technical analysis to, or technical analysts to weathermen is kind of accurate, right? Like I think a lot of traders or a lot of technical analysts will take that as offense. I think it's an accurate description, right? We don't know, the weathermen are wrong a decent part of the time, right? Like, or they're not always completely wrong, but a lot of times they'll be like, it's gonna pour, and then it just drizzles, right? Or it's gonna be sunny out, and then it drizzles a little bit, or it's gonna rain, and then it's like overcast, right? It's very similar to TA. Like, we don't know for certain if it's gonna blast off to new all-time highs or dump. But more often than not, when the bearish signals are there, you do get some kind of a move down, right? So, in my opinion, kind of accurate with weathermen, because they're not often wrong, but they're very, a lot of times they're a little off, right? Very similar. It's like you can't guarantee what the weather will be, but you can use other information to try to predict it. But anyway, let's see. Let's see. Bing bong equals actual prediction. All right, let's see. Shout out to Ray. Says you never know. It's true. It really is true. And ICP. Shout out to Georgia. Let's take a look at ICP. But yeah, it's I don't know. People take offense to that, and it's like, I mean, I'm never going to come up here and pretend just because there's a bull div on the daily that it is guaranteed to get a moonshot, right? Now, obviously, when you have multiple levels of confluence over multiple things, it's very likely to get a move in one direction or the other. But again, the details is where the inaccuracies often come in weathermen and analysts, right? But anyway, let's see. Yeah, I mean, ICP, I will be honest with you guys. ICP, money flow is coming up. God, my neck is killing me. Money flow coming up on your 5-day, your 6-day money flow crossover into the green, and your weekly is about to cross over into the green. Now, here's my personal opinion. This thing is still at the lows, right? Like, this thing has got the bull, not really a bull div here. Let's see. Yeah, so, I mean, you're still at the lows here, in my opinion, like for the most part, right? You pull your range, like you're not even broken out of your bear market volume profile, right? So this could indicate a bigger move to the upside, in which case I would probably be looking here. Now I'm just basing this off of price action right now, so we're going to confirm it with volume, but that would kind of be the next area I would look. But if we pull up that VPVR really quickly, yeah, like you could see. This is kind of hard because come on. Yeah, there you go, right? Like, basically, once you crack these highs, right, let's say price comes up, right? Once you crack these highs here, that is likely where you're going to get a quick move up to this level here due to the volume gap. Look at that gap right there. Nice and beautiful. But yeah, that's nice little nice volume gap. It probably could get you a quick move up there. And then moving, that's probably where your resistance is probably going to come in. So I would next target to the upside, if you get a decisive breakout for ICP, in my opinion, could be 1464 in my opinion. So no guarantees. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend to you guys like I know a lot of other people probably do. Is like, it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed, right? No, not guaranteed. But in my opinion, based off the technicals, pretty likely if you break, honestly. More specifically, you need to break this wick, right? Because if we zoom in here, you can see this wick is really what's holding you back from that gap. This yellow line is right where the gap starts, and then the volume picks right back up here at 1450. And then obviously you have your value area low. Like this confluence on the value area low is absolutely beautiful. So again, if you get a move up there, this is your decision-making time. Are you going to get back in the range and go for higher prices, or are you going to get a big rejection? So that's what I'll be looking at ICP, quick and dirty. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, Frank, can you do ALPH real quick for Jules? Thank you. Otherwise, Rob is going to burst. Shout out to Rob. But yeah, sure, we can check that out real quick. Let's check out ALF, or as some people call it, ALP. All right, let's see. Oh, boy. What is this? What is this? I need to see, right? It's kind of important for me to understand if this is, because I know the meme coins are popping, so I don't know what this is. But just be careful with the meme coins, guys. They will likely pump, but just be careful. But yeah, this is, let's see. I don't know what this is, but we're just going to pretend that we don't care. And look at that volume profile. Beautifully respected. From the high to the low, back to the high, back to the low, back to the high. Breakout, not too shabby. So in my own personal opinion, I'm going to fly through this one pretty quickly. Once this fresh green dot winds up doing what it wants to do, if you get a higher high on your price, could get a daily bearish divergence, which would likely cool you off here, unless it's a meme coin. If it's a meme coin and someone tweets about it and there's a massive bearish signal on a higher time frame, it's not going to matter. It's just going to rip. So keep that in mind. Yeah, I mean, key levels I would watch. I'll just give you key levels to the downside. Go ahead and pull from the low to the high. I would watch the golden pocket, value area high confluence. I mean, I would just watch this whole zone, to be honest with you. So there you go. Right about there. So if you come back down, I would look for support within this blue box. If you break below that 786, I think it's more likely to come back down to the POC and bottom of your range, getting closer to 13 cents. But if you could get a bounce off the 786 and break back out of your volume profile, right? So if you come down here, get sucked back in, I would expect to come to the POC and then potentially the value area low. But if you get a bounce off the 786 and get above your value area high, I would look for a potential higher high to get made. Very hard to call the next target for this, just because there's not a lot of price history. So, yeah, there you go. I mean, you already hit the golden pocket. I mean, if you do come up to make another high, the most sense would make it would make the most sense to come up to about $1.09 to test that 786. And to be honest, this green dot on the daily, this fresh green dot on the daily, may be the thing to push you up to that 786 or maybe even a new high. So there you go. Be careful. All right, let's continue on. Does anyone remember Alf from back in the day? Shout out to Gary C. I do not, but shout out to you, bro. All right, let's see. Okay. Let's see. Last altcoin is going to be XR. Well, how long are we going for here? Okay, yeah, we're gonna start flying through these. So XRP, let's see, taking a look. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Let's look at this XRP. Okay. Yeah, I mean, guys, I don't know. I mean, shout out to anybody who pays attention and takes advantage of this information on the live stream. We looked for a break above this value area low to go where? Right up to our next level of resistance, which was sitting between the golden pocket and the 786 right here. And we basically wicked right in the middle of that zone, right? And then we got a harsh rejection back to the value area low, and now we are rejecting once again. VWAP on the daily rolling back over to the upside. 2-hour money flow crossed over into the red. Slight bull div here, lower lows, higher lows. 4-hour money flow coming out, right? So a lot of this stuff does look like it may want to cool off, but you're looking for a bunch of fresh green dots here. We have put in a lower high. So I would kind of look at the same thing here, right? Value area low is going to be your key level of resistance. Once you hop above that and hold it as support, going to be looking, this fib, I would look up towards that 786 potentially. But really, key level of support is going to be 63 cents. If you can't get above 63 cents, I'm not expecting higher prices. If you get stuck underneath this level and potentially could get sucked into these low volume gaps, I mean, eventually, you know, if we keep coming down here, we are trending technically making higher lows. But if we come down lower, I will be looking at this previous value area high as a key level at about 55 cents. But other than that, like, pretty boring on XRP. XRP likes to lay dormant for very long recently, right? We got to move up ever since the big crash back down to lower, to the bottom of this range. I mean, XRP was pretty boring for over 2 months, right? And we were just saying, hey, guys, until we break this high, not expecting anything out of XRP. And then we gave the targets, which we wound up coming up and hitting, right? And now we're just kind of in the same situation where we got the move, and now we're just kind of consolidating here, kind of big area of consolidation. I mean, this is your key level, 63 cents. If you can't hold this as support and you lose it, that's where you're seeing more downside. And right now we're stuck below it. So you got to get above that value area low to potentially see 70 to 71 cents, in my opinion. All right, there we go. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Filecoin. Let's check out File. Okay. This is an old chart. I don't know what this is. Let's see. Coinbase. All right. Maybe we do some fresh analysis on Filecoin. Let's see. 4-day. All right. Let's see. Pull this. Yeah. So bear market range. Filecoin also still in its bear market range here. Pull this. Okay. Just marking out the levels real quick, guys. Bear with me. Yeah, it's going to be a key level right there. It's going to be a key level right here. Okay. So let's see. Oftentimes when you have these smaller volume profiles, guys, sometimes they get ripped through, right? But yeah, Filecoin's still at the lows here. Money flow continuing to come up. Red dot on your 4-day. So I would be careful of some consolidation here. See the weekly red dot looking to print, but money flow is coming up, looking for a push back to the upside. And yeah, I would, next major target, in my opinion, for Filecoin, if you break out of the range here, is you got to crack these previous highs, right? Get above that high volume node. And, once you get up here, break the high and start bouncing on top of that high volume node, that's where I'd look up towards this volume profile where you may see some consolidation as you could get, pretty aggressive imbalance within the low volume gap, giving you a quick move up. And then you may find equilibrium or balance up here in the volume profile before getting a break back out of the range and then coming up to attack this next key level, which is your bull market value area low coming in at 33 cents. So Filecoin really, really lagging behind here. But that's kind of the next trajectory I would be looking at. 6-day money flow looking to cross over into the green. 4-day kind of lingering. Yeah, this thing, yeah, I would expect in the long term to see more upside for Filecoin. But right now, I would be careful of some continued consolidation as your money flow on your 16 hours coming out, 12 hours coming out, your 6 hours coming, generally trending to the downside. 4-hour money flow also coming out. So, I would look at these local levels as well. Kind of bing bong around in here and then look for the bigger breakout of your larger range coming in right here, right? So kind of bing bong around, you're above your POC. So the next likely place for price to go, in my opinion, as long as you hold above the POC and value area low of this local range, is going to be that POC value area high sitting right here at $6.60. Once you get above that, your real next zone of resistance you got to break above is going to be these previous highs. Once you get above there, you can look to come into this, which is a previous value area. And then once you break out of there, you're really hitting the serious resistance at $33, which not only is serious resistance, but also going to be holding you back to massive upside. So, or accept you into give you more massive upside. So there you go. All right, let's continue on here. Let's see. All right, let's see. Last coin is going to be Caspa. Let's check it. Shout out to Caspa. Yeah, this actually, Mexi. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this thing has basically just gone up and to the right forever. But what chart do we want to look at here? Let's see. Caspa. Come on. Caspa. There we go. All right. I'm going to start fresh here. Okay, so obviously we are getting some nice consolidation. Nice little range here. Yeah, we're deviating below that value area low as we speak. 4-hour money flow in the red, putting in some bullish divergences. Barely. Kind of. Not really. I wouldn't even say they're there. But you are getting technical bull divs on the 2-hour. Green dot printing. 1 hour green dot confirmed. Let's check the higher time frames. 16-hour money flow crossing over into the red and now back into the green. Green dot looking to print. I'm surprised that green dot is not printing yet. Yeah, so about to, looking to print a green dot on the 16-hour with your 1 hour money flow getting eerily close to crossing over into the green. As you deviate below your volume profile, I would be careful here, right? Because you've kind of been hanging out down here below the volume profile, which could be a sign of weakness. But again, this is literally where you want to look for the long positions, right? When you deviate below your volume profile, this is an undervalued asset. You're looking for a move up to the value area low and then above the POC to attack that value area high. And yeah. Other than that, fresh green dot printing. Yeah, I mean, on the 6-hour, VWAP coming up on your daily. Let's see. What's the money flow look like? Yeah, 16-hour money flow is a little bit scary looking. But I will say, like, a lot of these higher time frames are not looking the same as Bitcoin, right? Like, Bitcoin looks like it wants to cool off on the higher time frames. Although money flow is coming out, green dots printing below this range, I would be careful of a potential pushback to the upside, right? Based off your volume profile, this is where you'd be looking for longs, right? Where everybody else is FOMOing into shorts, this is where you want to be looking for longs. But I'm not really seeing very strong confirmations. But just in general, you're thinking of this as undervalued to potentially come back into your relative area of balance, right? So if Caspa is usually, trading between 12 and 14 cents, and you're seeing this thing over here at 11 cents, you're expecting it to potentially come back into the fair value. But again, I would be a little bit indecisive here with the money flow coming out. You could wind up breaking down. And it's kind of dangerous because if you pull up the VPVR, check out where all the volume is. Am I too fast for TradingView? There we go. All right. Yeah, like you built and developed a lot of volume up here, but look below you, right? You start losing these lows, pretty big volume gap all the way down to about 8 cents, right? So like this is like you do not want to fall. You do not want to fall in this hole, right? So just be cautious. Be cautious because you break down, you're going to get a quick move back down here, in my opinion, right? So that's going to be the next key level of support to look at. We're really basically just derived off the volume right here, right? Like that's going to be your basically your key level of support if you get a bigger breakdown, right? Now, if you wind up breaking back to the upside and you wind up just getting another move, let me see. Yeah, if you just wind up getting another move here, let me just go ahead and pull out the, So, 17, almost 18 cents. If you are going to get another move to the upside, that might be a level to watch. But again, I would be careful. If I were longing this, I would be treating it as a range trade, right? Just simply looking to ride that up to the value area high for a very small scalp, right? I mean, a 18% scalp on an altcoin. But being very conservative with this because of the way money flow looks. But if you do come down, that's that next key level of support. I'm looking at between about 8 and 9 cents. All right, there we go, guys. I think that is all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Guys, smash that like button. We almost have 500 likes. I actually don't know if we almost have 500, but let's see. Yeah, we're at 403, guys. Smash that like button. And if we hit 550 likes by the time we're done spinning this wheel, I will go ahead and add some Frankie Candles. Maybe we'll add a limited edition Frankie Candles colorway on the hats. We'll do that. Why can't I talk? We'll give away a limited edition color Frankie Candles hat on Friday's giveaway. We'll just add it to the giveaway if we hit 550 likes. And we'll spin the wheel 10 times. But while we're doing that, or while we're trying to get those 500 likes, we'll go ahead and spin that dang wheel of pain and pleasure. Here we go. Spin numero uno. Let's check in on chat here. Let's see. Shout out to Dukes of Hazzard. Shout out to Jessica. Let's see. Hey, Tessa, that Orty trade from last Friday was fire, or rocket. Let's go. Shout out to you guys trading Orty. Let's get it. I thought it was Crimson. Shout out to Crimson's girlfriend. Rigged. Savage Trade says rigged. Oh, give him a giveaway, baby. Spin numero dos. Let's get it. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. Am I weird, guys? Let me know if I'm weird because when we post in the Discord, I have to react to all the reactions. So when people react to the post, I have to go through and tap those reactions. Am I weird for that? Let me know. I'm not trying to get more engagement. It just freaks me out if the boxes aren't blue. I can't see those gray boxes. It freaks me out. Give them another giveaway, baby. We got 4 spins. Unless we get 500 by the in the next 1 second. Come on, give them a giveaway. Oh, right on the middle. Guys, that's a scam. That's a scam. That is on the middle. That's a scam, guys. Hang on. That's a scam. How is that possible? How is that a nope? How is that a nope? Get out of here. Who is this? Who is this? Get this guy out of here. Guys, how is that a nope? That is dead in the middle. What a scam. Total scam. Unbelievable. But, guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Respin scam. All right, fine. You know what, Savage Trades? Shout out to you. We're going to respin it because I'm not scamming you, bro. Shout out to you. Let's see. Oh, God, another scam. All right, Savage Trades. We're just going to keep getting scammed here. But we got 3 out of 5. Should we just spin it one more dang time? Let's spin it one more dang time. We got 430 likes. Let's go. Come on, baby. Give him a giveaway. Bad Axe says, I'm going home. Scam. Okay, that's it, guys. I agree. I mean, I'm on your side now. This is totally a scam. 3 giveaways out of 6 spins, 50% hit rate. Not the worst, but also not the best. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate everybody for hanging out till the end of the stream. We got 567 people still in here. I appreciate you guys for sticking around till the end of the stream. We'll have to see. Let me just check in on Bitcoin before I let you guys go and get a little last look here. Yeah, let's again, a little bit more of a push to the, just kind of ping-ponging around still. But, guys, watch out for some potential continued downside. But if we do get a pump up, guys, you now have those levels of resistance to look at for a potential rejection and for you guys to potentially look for those bearish confirmations to maybe enter a short position if you think more downside is coming. But we'll have to see what the markets bring tomorrow. But that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will also see you at 9 o'clock on Crypto Billy's Twitter space, or X space. I don't know what you call it nowadays. But yeah, shout out to Crypto Billy. Let me pin that for you, brother. Bear with me. There we go. So at the top of the chat, guys, the link is pinned to Crypto Billy's Twitter space. I will be on there with him tonight. It's gonna be a blast. Come hang out with us. And with all that being said, it's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know, on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
You guys thought I wasn't going to do a fake out. You know, I'm not going to lie. I didn't do that on purpose. I actually realized that I played the wrong song. That's the song we play at the end of the stream, and I messed it up, and I kind of choked. I'm not going to be honest. I was like, the song ended, and I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I was like, I'll just see if they get sussed out, wondering what I'm doing, being like, hey, is there no fake out? I'm just kidding, guys. I'm never going to leave you without a fake out. I was waiting for you guys to be like, settle. And here I am. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of choked on this. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm nervous, guys. Go check out Crypto Billy's Twitter space. Link at the top of the chat right now, 9 o'clock. I will be there with him. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Go check him out. Let's blow this up. We will share it in the Discord as well. We want to try to give him the most viewers he's ever gotten because we love Crypto Billy, and I know you guys do too. But that's all the time we got for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Frank Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, man, we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the